We're out here in the riverbed by the Honda Center. And what's your name again?
Daisy.
Daisy? Okay, and you're staying out here in the riverbed?
Yes, I am. And their armories are unacceptable. The mats are made out of material where you can't even sanitize them. They've got us up next to each other without even an inch in between. The women that were next to me were dirty. They make us eat on the mats, and it's totally unsanitary.
Oh, so
but no one can sleep in a space this big with someone right next to us. Totally not sanitary. These people are overall not clean.
Kind of treating people like cattle.
Yeah, like a sardine can. And you can't even clean. And they said, well, we clean the mats with Lysol spray. But what good is that going to do? Everybody's eating on top of it. Their dirty shoes are on top of it. They don't even give us a sheet to cover up with or a blanket until after 9 p.m. So meanwhile, you're supposed to sit on an unsanitized mat with no space to even walk in between.
And then the armory, I heard, is just
that's
overnight.
Santa Ana and Fullerton. I went to both.
But that's just for overnight. That's not 24/7.
No, it's not. And then they don't even give you a sheet or a blanket until after 9 p.m.
Wow.
And then they wake you up at 5:30 in the morning. And there's no way you can sleep with somebody right next to you. Mm-hmm. It's unsanitary.
So that's why we felt
no one wants to be there.
So actually, this is why you prefer to be out here.
This is why everybody does. We have our own space in our tent, whereas if you're clean, then you've got your own clean space and you've got your own home.
Yeah, well, we've been allocating for a structure that we call al fresco gardens, which is actually outdoor living for the shelter resistance.
I just think that's awesome. That's the only solution that there is.
Yeah, because I've been asking the same question I asked you about the shelters, and everybody, I say shelters versus al fresco gardens.
Unsanitary. There's fresh air out here.
So what's your al fresco gardens or shelter?
Fresco gardens is the only solution.
Yeah, well that's
because of the high cost of housing, the long waiting list.
Yeah.
I'm on disability.
Will you be willing to pay $150 on al fresco gardens?
Oh yes, by all means.
In order to get out of here.
The sooner the better.
Yeah, well, because this here, you don't have the sanitation or the storage or the facilities that you would have on an actual outdoor living space.
And if rules can be enforced for the people that are unsanitary and unclean to make sure that they keep things clean and sanitary or get out, that would be great.
Yeah.
Because the people that are being like that is ruining it for everybody.
Could I ask a couple more questions regarding how long have you been out here?
About 6 months now.
6 months? And could I ask you what happened?
No.
Well, because we all have different stories, but...
Well, I mean, overall, domestic abuse, victim of domestic abuse. I left my husband. There are the waiting list for housing, even being on disability. It's not happening.
You can't afford rent out here. Living in disability.
Nobody can.
Yeah.
So I think this Fresco Gardens is just awesome.
Yeah, because that will be a transitional while you get back on your feet and get affordable housing.
And keep it clean.
See, that's what we're pushing for: affordable housing and rent control.
One side clean, one side dirty. If you're dirty, you got to go to the other side.
Okay, thanks.
Bye.
Okay. Oh, here we are. Here's the food. Now we're helping. All right. This is Lou Noble out here at Chapman by the riverbed. Today, Tuesday. The lawsuit was filed yesterday, but it seems like the county is going ahead and evicting people anyways, because they just started in Bull. What they're telling me they're doing right now is they're just picking up the trash and taking everything like couches or stuff like that into the trash compactor. People that need their stuff stored, they will store it, but they will not store anything else than just bags or possessions like clothing. Now I'm out here to see Bree. What's her name again?
It's Rhea.
Brea. Okay.
Rhea Ives. Rhea.
Yeah. And let me ask you, how long have you been here?
I've been here since March of last year. And I was first initially staying at Motel 6 for 2 weeks, and then I ran out of money. and so kind of came over here. My story begins, I lost my 3-bedroom condo, 2-car garage that I had for almost 10 years by domestic violence. And I became homeless in January 29th, 2011. Now, since then, until this day, today, I've been trying to get housing. I even contacted the White House. Got a response. Jean Watkins from Santa Ana Salvation Army, she came and helped me with a program called SPIN. They approved me to find an apartment for a 2-bedroom for $500. That's impossible here in California. So the deadline came. They gave me an extension, like a 2-week extension, to try to find that, and I couldn't. And so they said, okay, well, sorry. And I literally said, so is this the part where I walk away, hoping that they're gonna say, well, here's some more referrals, or like they just let me walk? Well, they let me walk. And that's what it's been for me since 2011. Just, I'm trying to contact programs. I've been to all the shelters, domestic violence, regular shelters, and graduated from some of those shelters. Did everything I was supposed to, but couldn't find adequate housing at the end. Couldn't find transitional housing to move to the next step. So once your time is up, which is either 30 or 60 or 90 days, they let you go. And so now families, individuals are struggling to find a place to live. And I understand the concept of being here on the riverbed, because when we're out there, we get treated different. Nobody likes to see us carrying our belongings. If we sit on a bench or behind a building because it's hot, we get the police called on us. If we go to use the bathrooms, if the bathroom doesn't work all of a sudden, or it's locked, and so we get treated different. So here we come to the riverbed where it's open and we can set up, we can leave our belongings and go handle things. Now, I understand that there's crime and there's drugs and stuff, but that's everywhere. That's every city.
Right.
So, but we have a sense of community with each other from one end to the other.
Right.
And we help each other out. If once somebody has to go and take care of something, like for example, I had to go to court yesterday because I'm trying to find a job, I'm trying to find housing, I'm trying to start my own business. I can't do that carrying my belongings.
Right.
So I have my friends, my neighbors to watch it. Can you please watch my tent for me while I go handle business? And so I'm able to dress up and look presentable and able to and go to court. So once we come from the streets and come down here, we feel safer because it's our community. We don't have people shunning us, and we have people come and they ride bikes and they record us. They take pictures. I feel like we're cattle.
Right.
Like they're training us to be cattle.
And I realized that the shelter resistance is part of it. Is you guys get treated like cattle there?
We do. We get treated.
No privacy.
There's no privacy. There's no respect for space. If you out and you stay out because you're handling business, like it's a problem. You know what I mean? I'm pretty sure that shelters can wean out the people that are irresponsible and don't take care of the business. But when you have people who are really trying and they get kicked out because of silly reasons, or it's just ridiculous. And there's a lot of people on this riverbed. There's a lot of people on. There's that many shelters here.
Given the county actually a solution, which is part of the puzzle, a structured campground. And we call that campground Alfresco Gardens Outdoor Living. This is a transitional living, but it could even be better than here because you don't have the facilities like bathrooms, showers.
Yes, absolutely.
That a campground would.
The basic needs that we need every day to survive.
Yeah, and part of it too that the housing is so expensive out here.
Yes.
Even a 1-bedroom, you have to actually make like $25 an hour to get into it.
And then when you go to rent these places, they want 3 to 4 times the rent.
Wow.
Like who? So I have to make $10,000 a month to rent a $1,300 apartment. Like, really? It's hard. A lot of us don't have. Like I had housing history, rental history, but now that I've been homeless since 2011, the rental history is gone.
Right.
Now what do I put? I can't put the riverbed, and they want to see that you have housing history. So where does that leave me? Again, the people are not going to rent to me because I don't have that history. So now I'm back on the streets. So there's a lot of factors that play in the reasons why we're here. The police, it's funny because I used to work for 211, and I know the database. I know the resources that are out there. So when the CityNet, Orange County mental health agencies, and police officers, when they come through, the city, Orange County mental health, they've given, I've seen them do active work, meaning stand here calling, trying to get people assistance. The police officers, they were first on hand. They were first coming through here. And when they come here, they say, we want to just come by and see how you're doing and see if you're taking advantage of the resources that we provided for you. So we want to just take your name and give you, and they have a card, and they take our name, our information, all information, and then they walk away. Where's the resources?
They never come through.
Not one police officer gave me a resource. But they come through, which is, I appreciate what they're doing, because they did get a lot of scum out of here, and they arrested a lot of people that shouldn't have been here, so I appreciate that. I really do. Being a single woman, as beautiful as I am, there's a lot of, unwanted people here, so I appreciate that. But
so we would have a structure like I was talking about, Fresco Gardens. Wouldn't that, even though it cost you at least $150 a month? I mean,
right. But as long as they have that manageable, maybe $150 a month, or according to the person's, income,
right.
Or as long as that they have a housing plan, a permanent housing plan at the end. That's the ultimate goal. That's what we want. That's what we're looking for. Some people don't know how to get there.
Right.
Some people been out here 20 years and don't know that structure. They don't know how to function like that anymore. So you can't just say, well, where are you going to go? They don't know where to go. They don't know what else to do. You have to direct them. So if they had a structure like that, well,
to give them time to
give them time, ease them into it, put them in a place, have case managers there to, monitor them and their progress all the way up to permanent housing. So they can learn to be on their own.
Yeah. Do you think 60 to 90 days people could get back on their feet, or because that's what the shelters are thinking of doing, or would it take a little more time for people to actually?
Yeah, you know what? Ultimately, it's going to take time, because there's some people out here, like I said, who can use that 30-90 days, and will get housing, and will get permanent housing. But there's others that can't, because they don't know how. So they need step-by-step instructions how to do it. and the resources and the right resources. You know, they don't have. There's people that's been out here that don't have birth certificates. They live in different countries, different places. They don't know how to get that stuff to follow the rules and regulations of the housing to get, you know, they don't. So they need that step by step. You can't just put them in a shelter and say, okay, well, we got them off the riverbed. Because guess what? In 30 days, 60 days, or 90 days,
they'll be back.
They go right back. And the cops are going to be, it's going to be a never-ending battle.
Yeah, it's a vicious circle.
Because somebody's going to be under the bridge, somebody's going to be down that way, somebody's because they're used to it, and it's our safe haven. That's our safe haven from the world. And they need to teach us how to live in housing, Okay.
And I see a picture back of you there. It looks like you.
This is the future me.
Okay.
This is the future me. I am because of my homeless experience. I am a survivor of domestic violence, and I am going to open up a nonprofit organization. It's called Survivors Inc. And I'm going to open a nonprofit organization that helps domestic violence survivors and survivors of trauma, men, women, and children and families, and teach them to become transitional characters, to help them change the lineage in the generation, to stop the dysfunction of violence or whatever dysfunction the family has. Teach them how to stop that.
It's something that you said that because a lady that actually went through this, that has done that Fresco Gardens project, she was a domestic violence survivor, and she was homeless at one time. So that's why she actually has this concept that she's brought up.
Right, because women like us, me and her, we go through it and we do just that. We take that poison and we change it. Instead of letting it destroy us, we change it. And I want to teach people to not only become transitional characters, but to change that dysfunction inside them, and then teach them how to invest, teach them how to buy property, buy things to where their families won't have to be homeless ever. The houses and property is in their timeline, is in their generation. So, you know, for years and years to come, they still have it, and they still, you know, and they can just carry that on.
And it's going to take people like you and I and others advocates that are that want to change this situation.
Oh yes, I am going to change it.
We are changing.
I am going to change it because there's a lot of talented and beautiful people out on this riverbed, and smart, and people don't look at us like that. But I am going to spread the word. I'm going to go to colleges and churches and speak, and I'm going to make a difference.
I'm glad to meet you.
Yes.
It was great. Okay, great interview. Thank you. And your name again?
It's Rhea.
Rhea.